Well, hello everybody and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday only here on Top Shelf Oldies. Want to welcome you to the November 7th, 2015 Vinyl Treasure Show. Glad you can join Johnny G on this Saturday evening. Going to be cold here in New York City, going down to the 40s, I guess. So we were kind of spoiled this week with the warm weather, but now we are getting into the November weather. But you can sit back for the next 2 hours. Got some cool 45s, original 45s for the 50s and 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. We opened up with an instrumental by a group from Rochester, New York. Chuck Alamo on sax, Bill Irvine on piano, Pat Mangola on bass, and Tommy Rossi on drums. Collectively, they were known as the Chuck Alamo Quartet. And their first record was a song called Leapfrog, came out on a small Rochester label, Ken Records, and MGM picked it up and signed them to the label. We just heard their fourth and final release for MGM, a song called Rockin' in G. That one there from April of 1958, the Chuck Alamo Quartet on MGM. And you'll be rocking tonight with Johnny G. Well, enough of my babbling here. Let's start it off with the vocal portion with this group from Oneonta, New York. They recorded a number of songs for Saul Rabinowitz's Baton record label, but only had one release. Unfortunately, only 145 came out by the group. Larry Santos was a member of this group. He went on to have a hit in 1976, if you remember, a song on the Casablanca label called We Can't Hide It Anymore. He had a couple of LPs also, but prior to all that, he was a member of the Tones. This one from December 58, the Tones on Baton. Give a listen to their tune. It's called Three Little Loves.
Story that I'd like to tell about three little loves that I love so well. I was happy because I fell all the way. First little love, second little love, third little love is all I've had. First little love got my class ring, loved her more than anything. Made me feel just like a king. Yeah, 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 yeah. First little love, second little love, third little love is all I've had. Second little love was quite the range. She was just about my age. We were thinking of getting engaged. Yeah, 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 yeah. First little love, second little love, third little love is all I've had. One more thing, third little love got my wedding ring. That's the reason that my heart sings. Yeah, 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 yeah. One little love, oh, oh, oh. Two little love, oh, oh, oh. Three little love, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. First little love, second little love, third little love is all I've had.
We open up the vocal portion of the Vinyl Treasure Show with a group called The Tones. The Tones on the Baton record label out of New York City, December 1958 release. Three Little Loves is the name of that one. When I first started collecting, there were multiple copies. A lot of that record were available in mint condition. You can pick them up, I think, back in the early 80s for about $3 or $4. I think that's what I paid for that 45. Hasn't really gone up in value that much, but that's a pretty cool tune from 1958, December of 58. Enough of my babbling. going here. Let's continue. We head to Chicago for this next group, as this is their debut single on Thomas Madman Jones' Mad record label. The group was formed by two brothers, Willie and O.C. Logan. They were called the Equalos. This was their debut single, and this one features Willie Logan on lead. Let's go back to October of 1959. This is on the Mad record label. This is a styrene promo for this one. The Equalos with their tune called Patty, Patty. October 59 release there for the Equalos. The Equalos there, Willie Logan on lead on the Mad record label, Madman Jones record label there out of Chicago. Patty, Patty, the name of the song there. Willie Logan, of course, went on to have a group later on, I think in the mid-1960s, Willie Logan and the Players. But this Equalos group, they do a pretty rare 45 on the M&M record label. I have featured it here a number of years ago on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We'll get that one on a future show. Let's continue here, and this next 45 was one that I purchased on my visit to Ronnie I's Clifton Music in Clifton, New Jersey. It was a long time ago. I heard about his store in Clifton, so I drove there one Saturday afternoon, and I asked Ronnie if he had any records, any rarer records to sell. Didn't have any of the 4-figure records, but he had some of the 3-figure records. I don't know if I paid. I didn't think I paid 3 figures for this one, but I bought this from him for this a great group out of Harvey, Illinois. First started recording on the Checker label as the El Rays. Now, that's a rare 45 if you have that one. I have featured that one here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. But then they changed their name to the Dells, and this is their second release on Vivian Carter's VJ record label. Features Johnny Funches on lead. Let's go back to December of 1955 for the Dells, this classic group, the Dells, on VJ, and their tune called Dreams of Contentment.
Sweet dreams, wow. Sweet dreams of you, wow. Dreams that foretell, wow.
dreams of contentment, wishing for you and feeling so blue. Sweet dreams of you brings back memories of you, reminds me that I love you, and you love me too, but you've gone. Oh yes, yes, you've gone. Sweet dreams of you, dreams coming from my heart, and searching for you.
Those are the great Dells, the Dells on Vivian Carter's VJ record label. That is their second on VJ from December 1955. A great tune there, song entitled Dreams of Contentment. First time I heard that was on the Time Capsule Show. Heard that record played on the Time Capsule Show sometime in the early 1970s. Let's continue here. Let's flip over a 45 from the last 50s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. I featured a rare 45 out of Syracuse, New York. Came out on the Vesta label by a group called the Eldaros. I played the ballad side, a song called Please Surrender. That was the intended B-side of the 45. Let's give a spin to the A-side, which received a lot of airplay up in the Syracuse area in August of 1958. It features Jimmy Singleton on lead. He is the brother of Bebo Singleton, who was the lead singer of a group called the Rhythm Cadets that recorded on the Vesta label. But here are the Eldaros. This is the A-side of the 45. August 58, the Eldaros on Vesta with their tune called Rock a Bach.
Playing, chip that self, the rock-a-bye way. Get him, yeah, 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 get him, rock everybody, get him, everybody in Junior rock baby ball. Gorgeous little sweet cat, you're my chick, everybody. Let's rock. Rock everybody. Let's rock. Rock everybody. Let's rock. Rock everybody. Let's rock everybody and do the rockabilly rock.
August 58 release there for a group called the El Darrows. Jimmy Singleton on lead for that one on the Vesta record label, rare Syracuse 45 there, song entitled Rock-a-Bach, as we rock-a-bach every Saturday right here on Top Shelf Oldies from 10 to midnight, only original vinyl 45s. We do 50s and early 1960s. Next Saturday evening will be my all-girl group special, finally. Still looking for some requests. Still going through Capitol boxes, looking for a few requests on the Capitol label there. And a program note, Johnny G will not be here on November 21st. I know, is that it? Yes, 14 to 21st. I will be in New York City. I am taking Barbara out for her birthday, which was actually the 3rd, November 3rd, but we're going to see a play. King Charles III is the play that we're going to see, so I will not be here that evening. We'll be in with the play and dinner. Yes, we will. So Ramtown Mike will be filling in on the 21st at 9 p.m., so tune in to Top Shelf Oldies. Let's continue here. And here is another flip side from a couple weeks ago as I featured the Ramblers on Bob and Morty Shad's Jax label, JAX Records. Now, the B-side that I played was the up-tempo side called 50-50 Love, but here is the intended A-side, which is a ballad. It's on red vinyl for you collectors out there. We go way back, October 1953, for the Ramblers on Jax and their tune called Search My Heart.
Search my heart if you care to. You'll find my heart to be true. If you search my heart, you will find that you're always on my mind. Search my heart, darling, please do. Just let me prove my love for you. In my heart you'll find love divine. So darling, search my heart. In my heart, you left an open space, but no one else will ever take your place. To do all these things, you'll find a clue. If you search my heart through and through, darling, I won't deceive you, not after all that I've been through. If there's any doubt, you'll find out. If you search my
Early sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Ramblers. The Ramblers from October 1953 on the Jax, JAX Records, with their tune called Search My Heart. Let's continue here. A few weeks ago, I featured this Los Angeles group's ninth release on Sid Nathan's Federal record label, a song called Believe in Me. Here is their fifth release on Federal. Features Thurston Harris on lead. Of course, Thurston Harris went on to have solo hits on the Aladdin record label. I'm sure you know his tune called Little Bitty Pretty One. But prior to all that, he was the lead singer of a group called the Lamplighters, and this one's on Silvertop Federal. This one from April of '54, the Lamplighters on Federal, and their tune called I Used to Cry, Mercy, Mercy.
I used to cry, mercy, 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 mercy. I used to cry, mercy, 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 mercy. I used to cry, mercy, mercy, but I found mercy, mercy won't do. Hey, hey, you can leave me if you wanna, but I ain't worried when you go. Hey, hey, you can leave me if you wanna, but I ain't worried when you go. Hey, hey, 'cause when you leave me, baby, somebody's walking in my door. Yeah, I used to cry, mercy, 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 mercy. Used to cry, mercy, 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 mercy. I used to cry, mercy, mercy, but I found mercy, mercy won't do. Hey, hey, you said you didn't need me, you had another on the string. Yeah, yeah, you said you didn't need me, you had another on the string. You left me crying mercy, but mercy didn't mean a thing. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Well, if I had listened to what Papa said, I wouldn't be weeping and talking out of my head. Mercy, 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 mercy. I used to cry, mercy, mercy, but I found mercy, mercy won't do. Mercy, 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 mercy. Man, don't need no mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Used to cry mercy, but no more, baby. I don't need no mercy. Don't want no mercy. Mercy don't mean a thing now, baby.
April 1954 release there for the Lamplighters, Thurston Harris. Whoops, turntable didn't shut off. Thurston Harris doing lead there on the Federal record banner. I Used to Cry, Mercy, Mercy is the name of that tune. They do some pretty nice tunes on the Federal label. I guess we can send that one out to all the Met fans that were probably crying Mercy, Mercy, that they did so well up until the up until the World Series, and then they just dropped out of sight. Evidently, Kansas City, the better team there, wanted it more. Unfortunately for you Met fans, I'm a Met fan, but they couldn't do it. We're going to have to look forward to next year, and that's the end of that. But let's continue here for a Saturday evening. I'm spinning original vinyl 45s out of my collection. We are getting close to my ultra rare 45. I posted that one on Facebook. We'll be coming up at record number 10. We are record number 8 as we go to Harlem, New York for this next group as they sign with Morty Shad's Harlem label. They recorded 2 then on the label. Then they backed up 2 other artists on the label, that being Lightning Jr. and Bobby Sue. I have both those 45s. They're not easy to find on this Harlem label. But here is their second release on Harlem, written by the baritone of the group. His name is Robert Dunn. And it says on the label it says featuring Johnny Ace Jr. Now, that was a made-up name by Morty Shad to cash in unfortunately, on the death of Johnny Ace. But the lead singer, his name is really John Barnes. This one from April of 55. These are the Empires on Harlem, and their tune called Magic Mirror.
Magic mirror on the wall, you'll see the fairest of them all. Tell me, magic mirror on the wall. Magic mirror on the wall. Do you think she loves me at all? Tell me, magic mirror on the wall. She be mine, just to have and to hold, just as long as I live, till death do us part. Tell me, mirror on the wall, does she love me? Magic mirror on the wall, you'll see the fairest of them all. Tell me, magic mirror on the wall.
That's on Harlem Records out of New York City. They're the Empires. April 1955 release. John Barnes on lead there. Name of the song is called Magic Mirror. This group would later change their name to the Whirlers on the Whirling Disc record label and redo that song. In 1957, they would re-sing the song Magic Mirror. But I like the flip of that redone song. It's called Tonight and Forever. Great up-tempo tune on the Whirling Disc record label. Anyway, enough of my babbling here. Let's continue here. Featured the A-side of this 45 on the last 50s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show for this group out of Philadelphia, PA. I played a song called Dry Your Eyes, as done by a group called The Inspirations. Now, the flip side's a cool up-tempo, and the first presses of this 45 come on the Black and Silver Jamie label. And if you look on the label, it mentions Jamie/Kraft, meaning Morty Kraft was involved with these early Jamie pressings. And the label design looks very similar to the Melba record label, his Melba Records. This one from November of 56. These are the inspirations on Jamie with the up-tempo side, a song entitled Goodbye.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye. That's what you told me that night. Oh, darling, you found a new loved one, but what can my boy do? Tell me what can I do? You say goodbye. That's what you told me that night. Oh,
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the inspirations there. November 1956 release on the Jamie record banner there. The Black Jamie label for you collectors out there, the original. The inspirations with Goodbye. And this record was resurrected again in the early 1960s with the revival of the music. So Jamie re-released it on, you know, that kind of like white and kind of like greenish Jamie label, the new style label. They re-released it, but definitely the originals on the black label. It's not Goodbye, though. Not Goodbye till midnight. John G here spinning original vinyl, 50s and 60s vocal group harmony out of my collection. Let's go to Los Angeles, California for the rarest 45 of the night. This one is the one I posted on my Facebook page for this group, which is led by Charles Wright. And he is the same Charles Wright that would have hits with the 103rd Street Rhythm Band. If you remember songs like Do Your Thing in 1969. He also recorded a song called Loveland and Express Yourself in 1970. Those are 45s that I purchased when they came out. But before all that, he was the lead singer of a group called the Twilighters. And the first release by the Twilighters was a song called Eternally that came out on the Caddy label, and it was leased out to Dot Records. Unfortunate that record, they thought that record was going to take off, but it didn't. It just died out. But then they recorded this one on Charlie Williams' Charlie label, and Billboard gave this one a poor trade notice, and this record just quickly disappeared. It just went away, and I guess that's why it's so rare today. But let's give it a spin here. These are the Twilighters with Charles Wright on lead. This one came out in November of '58. The Twilighters on Charlie with their tune called Let There Be Love. ultra rare 45s here for a Saturday evening. That group called the Twilighters. Charles Wright. Charles Wright on lead there, November 1958, released their song entitled Let There Be Love. That one there on the Cholly, Cholly, Cholly record label. Let's move on here. Let's move to the Bronx, New York for this next group, an integrated group with a white lead, and this was their debut single written by Shirley Ellis. Really, Shirley Elliston is her name. She would have hits of her own in the mid-1960s, if you're familiar with her tune called The Name Game, but she wrote a lot of cool tunes for some R&B groups, and she wrote this one for a group called the Heartbreakers, features Paul Himmelstein on lead. This is on the RCA subsidiary Vic label, March 1957. These are the Heartbreakers on Vic with their tune called 1, 2, I Love You.
I'll give you 10 to say you'll be mine again. 1, 2, I love you, you know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart, to your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the whole in our romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. 9, please be kind. I can't get you out of my mind. 10, I won't say 10. I'll have to start all over again. 1, 2, I love you. You know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart, to your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the hole in our romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. Nine, please be kind. I can't get you out of my mind. 10, I won't say 10. I'll have to start all over again. 1, 2, I love you. You know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart, to your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the hole in our romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I won't say 10. I won't say 10. I'll start over again.
March 1957 release there for the Heartbreakers. Heartbreakers on Vic Records. 1, 2, I Love You. Yes, I do. That features Paul Himmelstein on lead. I was looking in Ferdy Gonzalez's disco file. He said that there is a first press of this that says 1, 2, I Love You, then in parentheses, won't count 10 or count 10 or something. He said that is the first press. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. If anybody has a copy of that, I would like to see a picture of that one. Yes, I would. But anyway, that's a cool tune. They also do they performed at the Apollo Theater in 1958 or 59. They did a great rendition of the Wren's tune, Come Back My Love. That came out on some compilation album or something. I have to get that one on here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue for some more here. This next artist, he is from Nashville, Tennessee, and I featured this 45 once before, more than once before here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. It's on the Atlantic subsidiary East West label, and there's a vocal group that is backing him up. They go by the name of the Marquees, Markees. And this singer, his name is Jimmy Helms, and it's the B-side of the 45. This was not the side that they played on the radio, but they played the flip side. But this is the better side, in my opinion. It's from April 58. It's Jimmy Helms. It's on East West, and his tune is called It Was Ours.
If ever a love was born to be, if ever there was a need to share, if ever there was a need to care, it was ours. If ever there was true love as such, I know ours was born of such. If ever there was a need to be, me with you and you with me, it was ours. Some hearts were made to be lonely. Some hearts are made to cry. We were born to be together till the day we die. If ever there was a girl and boy with the love that brought such joy, it was ours.
That is a cool B-side. That should have been the A-side there. Jimmy Helms and the Marquees on the East-West record label division of Atlantic Records. April 58, Jimmy Helms with his tune called It Was Ours. My aunt was a big fan of those, I guess you can call these like kind of like country boppers or country crossovers or rock ballads, whatever you want to call them, but she really liked those tunes, and she had quite a few in her collection. I like them too. I do like that kind of sound here. Let's continue, though. Let's flip over another 45 from a couple of weeks ago. It's on the Teenage label, and if you want to collect a rare label, you want to collect the Teenage label. And I played the B-side of the song, B-side of the 45, a song called You Broke My Heart, featured Eddie Jones on lead. But this is the intended A-side of the 45, which was later covered by the Duprees as a B-side on their big hit, You Belong to Me. They sang, actually they do a good version of this tune as the B-side of You Belong to Me, but this was the original, first recorded by a group called The Demons, written by the lead singer. His name is Eddie Jones. It's the first of two on Teenage. We go back to August 1957, The Demons, with the original version of Take Me As I Am.
So if you want me, take me as I am. Here I am, just a plain Joe. I don't know any more than any man could know. So if you want me, take me as I am. I'm not at all a genius, nor do I want to be. I
August 1957 there on the Teenage record label out of New York City. Those are the Demons. The Demons with Eddie Jones on lead. He wrote the tune. That's the original version of the song Take Me As I Am. I finally got their other record. I got to do my anniversary special. I got some really rare records that I want to feature for you guys if I ever get the chance. Been busy with work. Really, I don't know when I can get a slowdown time, as we worked from home on Monday because President Obama came into Newark and they told us that the streets were going to be closed, or certain streets, so we were allowed to work from home on Monday evening, which was pretty nice. Yes, it was. But been busy with these new conversions, with some programs and whatnot. It's just crazy. But I got to relax and listen to the music as we do here on a Saturday evening, starting at 10 p.m. right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Let's go back to Chicago, Illinois, to Mel London's Profile label. I really can't tell you much about this record, but it's a duo. The artists are Dick and Jack with the Politicians. That's the name of the group. The writer of the song is Gene Red, which is interesting. And the side I'm playing is the vocal. The flip is an instrumental, but we're going to give a spin to the vocal side. This one came out in November of 1960. Dick and Jack with the Politicians. It's on the Profile label, and the song is called Shirley.
Not too much. Shirley, Shirley, I love you so. Shirley, I'll never let you go. Shirley, I'll always love you. Oh, Shirley, oh, Shirley, oh, Shirley.
Ramtown Mike pointed out in the chat room that is very similar to John Fred's and the Playboys song Shirley. It is similar. I think they actually stole some of the lyrics, but it's different, a different arrangement, but it does have a lot of that John Fred Shirley sound to it. It does. But that's Dick and Jack with the Politicians, November 1960 on the Profile record label, their tune called Shirley. But let's go back to Saul Rabinowitz's Baton record label. Earlier we heard from a group called The Tones, Three Little Loves. Some of you will know this next group from Albany, New York. Their debut single made the national charts, only number 60 on the Billboard charts, a song called The Things I Loved. And to me, when I heard that record, they sounded a lot like the Platters. I think because the lead singer, Maurice Newton, sounds like Tony Williams. But they recorded 7 for Saul Rabinowitz's Baton/Slur labels. And here is their third on Baton with Tico Wilshire and the orchestra. This one from August 1958. These are the Fidelities on Baton and their tune called Captain of My Ship.
I was captain of my ship, master of my fate, ruler of my destiny. Then you came to me. I had dreams for
They're called the Fidelities. They sound like the Platters. Yes, they do. That one features Maurice Newton on lead there. Captain of My Ship is the name of that one. And that one's on the Baton label, August 1958. Let's move on here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go back to Brooklyn, New York for this next group, discovered by Jim Ferrari, who became their manager and brought them over to Capitol Records. They had 3 releases starting in 1958. This was their third and final for the Capitol record label. Features Jesse Stone and his orchestra. The lead singer, he goes by the name of Tony Pasalacqua, and a lot of their tunes were Gus Gossert's favorites. He used to play a lot of their tunes on his show. This one made it up to number 46 on WNDR out of Syracuse, New York. So back to July of 1959. Of course, I'm talking about the Fascinators on Capitol and their cool tune, song entitled Oh, Rose Marie.
Oh, Rosemary, please won't you try to give your love to me, pass me by. Oh, Rosemary, I've waited so long and faithfully, don't say it's wrong. Oh, Rosemary, I've made a vow, no other
been no answer, though my heart says please. On what you do, my life depends. And with your answer, love starts or ends.
They're liking that one there in the top shelf oldies chart. That should have been a hit. Wasn't a hit, unfortunately. The Fascinators there. Tony Pasalacqua on lead, July 1959, released there on the Capitol record label. Capitol Records didn't promote that record enough. No, they did not. Oh, Rosemarie is the name of that one. That was a Gus Gossard favorite, as all their records were. Gus Gossard featured, he liked those records by the Fascinators, and they do some very cool tunes. Enough of my babbling here. Let's continue. Let's go to 61 for this record. Supposedly was given out at some movie theaters, and I would have gladly accepted this 45 versus having to pay for it. Well, let me clarify. Not all movie theaters gave this out. It was the drive-in theaters that gave it out. And are there any more drive-in theaters here in the USA? I don't see any here in the New York area. Maybe somewhere out in the Midwest there are. I don't know. Are there drive-ins anymore? Used to go to the drive-in, but anyway. And speaking of drive-ins, this song is about a drive-in. Let's give it a spin. It's from 1961. It's on the Fleetwood label. This group is called The Strings. The Strings, and their tune is called Drive-In Movie.
Drive-in movies, drive-in movies. Yes, I took my baby to the drive-in movies at it still was light, and so we had to wait. Yes, while the sun was setting in the west, that was nature at its best. I was glad that we came early and not late. Yes, I took my baby to the drive-in movies, and then I held her hand and I kissed her lips, and then well, before we knew it, the show was done. We never had such fun, so we stayed to see it over again. Hey, the lights went on and the lights went on. The music played loud and then it was soft. Hey, then someone poked his head in the car. I said, hey, where do you think you are? So I took my baby to the snack bar for a bite. And aboard those pizzas and the burgers tasted right. Yes, 'cause then and there she promised me she'd be mine eternally. I'm glad I went to the drive-in movie last night. Drive-in movie. Hey, drive-in movie.
That group is called The Strings from 1961. On the Fleetwood record banner there, song entitled Drive-In Movie. I'm trying to remember the movies that I saw in the drive. Do you remember a movie? I forget what year it was. It was called Motel Hell. I saw that in the drive-in movie. Another one I saw was a movie called Bob Carroll, Ted and Alice. Wasn't that an R-rated movie? I saw that. And then I think I saw another one I saw was Last House on the Left. I think that was there. A bunch of horror movies I saw in the drive-in movie. Used to have one over in Orangeburg. They used to have a big flea market there, but it's gone. It's all gone. And Dennis mentions there's one in Warwick. Anyway, John G here spinning original vinyl 45s out of my collection. We do it every Saturday right here on Top Shelf Oldies. We are doing 50s and early 60s. And many of you know that my Aunt Mary was very instrumental with my taste in music. And I say that because it relates to this next 45, because she bought this one when it came out in July of 1958. And she loved this group from Brooklyn, New York, as I do. They have so many great songs on Jerry Winston's Onyx record label. But he sold all his masters to MGM, and they put Jerry Winston in charge of a new subsidiary that they wanted to create for their new talent. It was called Orbit Records, but quickly they had to change the name of the label from Orbit because somebody sued them or was going to sue them or threaten them, and they changed it to Cub Records. And this is one of the sides that was recorded for Onyx but was sold to Cub Records, and a 45 that my aunt purchased. This one features Sammy Lowe and the orchestra. It's the lead of the late great Jerome Ramos, and love to cha-cha to this record. Where is my cha-cha partner, Diane? Haven't seen her in a long, long time. But anyway, this is from July 1958, the great Velours on Cub, and their tune called Crazy Love.
My dear, how I love you so, can't resist wanting you, I know. When we kiss, I am all aglow, crazy love. I hear someone call your name, and my heart seems to be ashamed. When we part, I am not the same, crazy love.
July 1958 there. Those are the Velours. Jerome Ramos on lead there. Cub Records. 45 my aunt played for me. She bought this 45. Crazy Love is the name of that tune. A lot of records called Crazy Love. Dennis, it's not the same song by the we mentioned by the Royal Tones, different song. There's a bunch of records that have crazy in the title. That would be probably a good show to do. Records or titles, song titles that have crazy in the title. That'd be an interesting one. Well, enough of my babbling here. Let's continue here. Let's go to Cleveland, Ohio for this next 45, as this singer was a member of the Hornets on the States record label way back in 1953, and he formed a new Hornets group 9 years later, and he wrote this song. It's on Lester Johnson and Bill Branch's Way Out record label. This is not an easy 45 to find. Let's go to 1962 for Ben Iverson and his Hornets. This is on Way Out Records. Give a listen to their tune. It's called Love Me.
You hug me. Why must you tease me? Gee, I love you so. Squeeze me. Why won't you please me? Why won't you love me? For I'll never, never let you go. Are you pretending? Is this the ending? Please let me beg amen. There's no use lying, my heart is crying, so let's try it over again. Yes, that's it, hold me. Because I love you so, and I'll never, never let, I'll never, never let, and I'll never, never let you go.
That's on the Way Out record label out of Cleveland, Ohio. The group is called Ben Iverson and the Hornets. He wrote the tune, 1962 release there, song entitled Love Me. As we continue here for a Saturday evening, 1950s and early 60s 45s out of my collection. And believe it or not, the first time I ever heard this next song was on the Gus Gossard Show. And you know this group from Fort Lee, New Jersey. The group consisted of Bill Crandall, Billy Dalton, Tom Austin, and Bob Gaudio. And their debut single came out on the Power label, a song called Short Shorts, and it was picked up by ABC Paramount Records for national distribution. And this was the follow-up to that big hit they had called Short Shorts, as this song was inspired by those buttons worn by the audience that would go to the Dick Clark Saturday Night Beach Nut Show. They'd wear these Iffic buttons on their lapels. And this song, that was inspiration for this song that charted regionally. Actually, this was on Cashbox. It didn't make Billboard. It made Cashbox, was number 59 on Cashbox. But it did better in a large number of markets. And I first heard this on the Gus Gossard Show, and I like the song. It's a little bit of a novelty tune, but I like it. It's from April of 1958. Of course, I'm talking about the Royal Teens. This is on ABC Paramount, and you need to show your big name button.
square and you're really nowhere.
Big name button, you got to wear a big name button. You got to wear a big name button. 'Cause if you don't, then
You're a flub and you aren't in the club.
if your name is Bobby, how do we know it? If your name is Dee Dee, why don't you show it? When you have no button, oh what a shame. How in the heck will anybody know your name? Big name button, you got to wear a big name button. You got to wear a big name button. 'Cause if you don't, then
You're a square and you're really nowhere.
if your name is Bobby, how do we know it? If your name is Dee Dee, why don't you show it? When you have no button, oh what a shame. How in the heck will anybody know your name? Big name button, you got to wear a big name button. You got to wear a big name button. 'Cause if you don't, then
You're a square and you're really nowhere.
There was a girl in that group too. The girls, you know, with their short shorts, are two girls. I think you can see it on the video there. I forget their names. I should have mentioned that because they were singing there too. But those are the Royal Teens from April 1958. Big Name Button, the name of that one on the ABC Paramount record label there. Let's continue now. Let's go back to the Bronx for this next group as their debut single came out on the Acme record label, a song called Franny Franny. That one came out in December of 1957, but through the years they had so many cool tunes on labels like Record and Madison and Marco, and this label called Mr. Peacock. This one from October of 1961. It features Antonio Aiello on lead, and he shortened that to Nino. This one on Mr. Peacock Records, the first of three on Mr. Peacock. Nino and the Ebb Tides, and their tune called Wished I Was Home.
Over the sea, that's where I'm going. I'm in the Navy because of you. Well, I wished I was home. Wished I was home with you. You lied to me. That's when we broke up. I joined the Navy. Now you wanna make up. Well, I wished I was home. Wished I was home with you.
That is the first of 3 on the Mr. Peacock record label, although they changed the label for some reason to Mr. Peak for the last release. But that's Nino and the Eptides, October 61 release, a song entitled Wished I Was Home. Well, that's where Johnny G is broadcasting the Vinyl Treasure Show from the attic in my home, not the No Static attic. That is where Dave the Rave broadcasts his show, which will be tomorrow evening starting at 9 p.m. for Relics and Rarities. But I am in the attic too, even though I have a no humidity basement where a lot of these records are. But this record that I'm playing next never got the chance to be in the no humidity basement because it just came in this week. Just got this 45 this week in the mail as we head back to Chicago, Illinois to the Nike label, as this artist was a blues singer, first recorded as Sugar Boy Williams, and then he changed his name on the Argo label in 1957. He changed it to Jody Williams, but he has other releases, and here is one on Nike, which is the first press, as this record came out a few years later on a label called Yolando. But this is the first press. It's from 1962. His name is Jody Williams. Jody Williams on Nike, and the song is called Lonely Without You.
But now I have your love to last through the years, and I'd be lonely, so lonely without you. The end of time seems so far away, but now our love will last until that day, and I'd be lonely, so lonely without you. I used to walk up and down the street. I knew how lonely a man could be, but now my lonely days have changed, and I've got you to hold my hand. Now the birds sing oh so sweet, because they know your loving can't be beat, and I'd be lonely, so lonely without you. Up and down the street, I knew how lonely a man could be, but now my lonely days have changed, and I've got you to hold my hand. Now the birds sing oh so sweet, because they know your loving can't be beat, and I'd be lonely, so lonely without you. Now the birds sing oh so sweet, because they know your loving can't be beat, and I'd be lonely, so lonely without you, without you, without you, without you.
Sound out of 1962 on the Nike labels out of Chicago, Illinois. Jody Williams' his name, song entitled Lonely Without You. Johnny G will be lonely without you on Saturday evening if you didn't tune in to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Also, we are on the Ustream broadcast, and I'm showing these rare 45s for you, the collectors out there. We'll post this one up onto my YouTube account, and you can check out the records if you missed the show. We also have the archives. You can stream or download the shows on vinyltreasures.net. But let's continue here for this next group that formed at Seward Park High School. If you know where that is somewhere in Manhattan. In 1959, they formed in high school, and they had this lone release that came out on the Ritz, R-I-T-Z, the Ritz label, distributed by London Records. It was written by the lead singer. His name is Eugene Sanchez. So let's go to April of 1963 for a group called The Enchantments. The Enchantments on Ritz. Their tune called I Love My Baby.
Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Chop, chop.
Ah, love my baby. Won't my baby love me? You're more than life to me. Hold me tenderly. Each lonely hour, I think of you. I'll always love you till the end of time. In the garden, that's where it happened. I fell in love with you. I love you forever and evermore, forever and ever again. I love my baby. Won't my baby love me? You're more than life to me. Hold me tenderly.
The April 63 release there for a group called The Enchantments. The Enchantments on the Ritz record label. Song entitled I Love My Baby. Yes, I do. I really do. Let's move on here. Let's go back to 61. Can't tell you much, though, about the 45. It's on Vinny Catalano and Don Ames' Mermaid label. And the artist's name, he goes by the name of Eddie Carey, C-A-R-I. He had 2 consecutive releases on this Mermaid label, and there's some group backing him up on this one, and maybe they are a group called The Excellence, who also had a release on this Mermaid label. But let's give it a spin here. 1961, his name is Eddie Carey. Eddie Carey on Mermaid. The name of the tune is called Wishing Time.
Wishing time. wishing time. Wishing time. Wishing time. Yeah, yeah. Wishing time. Oh, wishing time.
Mermaid Records there. Eddie Carey and a group. 1961 release, Wishin' Time is the name of that one. Another song, another word that you can feature a show on is wishing or wish. There's so many records and titles with that name there. That's getting some thoughts here to do some different things here. But let's continue here. And usually don't venture to 1966 on the 50s and early 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show, but this record definitely belongs in a show like this, or the 50s and 60s edition. As we go back to New Jersey, this time to East Orange, as this song was another Gus Gossard favorite. He used to play this all the time, and the first press comes out on a label called General Records, and then Cadet released it 2 months later, and this group consisted of Patrick Coleman, Artie Johnson, Walter Tooney, James Times, and Vincent Williams. Collectively, they were known as the Ocapellos, and this was a cool tune that I first heard on the Gus Gossard Show. I finally found a copy, a nice clean copy from the late Joe Ronco. He sold me this one at an Allentown, PA show. It's from May of 66, believe it or not, but they're called the Ocapellos on General, with their great tune, a song called The Stars. That record had no chance in May of 1966. The Ocapellos there. Ocapellos on the General record label there with their tune called The Stars. I think you can get, if you got it on the Checker label, like that that two-tone blue checker. That is also a reissue that Checker put out, because Cadet is really the second label that it came out on. But the Maroon Generals, those are boots. Those are boots. I think Louis Silvani put out that General boot, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, enough of my babbling here. John G spinning original vinyl 45s out of my collection. And here's a 45 on Morris Levy's Roulette label by a group called The Chances. The Chances, who are really the Solitaires, with the bass of the Willows, that being Freddie Donovan. He's doing bass on this. This is a dual lead of Milton Love and Bobby Baylor, and it was produced by Buzzy Willis, who was also singing with the group, singing on this record. This one charted on WJBK out of Detroit, Michigan, was number 49 on that chart. Let's go back to February 1964. The Chances on Roulette, and their tune called Through a Long and Sleepless Night. February 1964 release there. Those are The Chances. Really, we'll say they're really the Solitaires, though. And Through a Long and Sleepless Night is the name of that one. Came out on the Roulette record label. As I lose my breath, excuse me, I still have some leftover of that virus that I had. Really put me out of commission. It really knocked me out. So bad it did. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize. Hopefully sounding good here on Top Shelf Oldies. Let's continue. Here's another 45 that my aunt purchased, but she didn't purchase it for the A side, believe it or not. She purchased it for the B side of the record, as we are featuring the B side of this Los Angeles group that was discovered by the label owner, Eddie Davis. He owned the Rampart record label, as this group had 4 releases on Rampart. This was their first, and it was a big hit for them. It was a cover of the Chris Kenner song Land of 1,000 Dances, made it up to number 30 on both Billboard and Cashbox. But my aunt bought the record for the B side of the 45, written by the lead singer. His name is Frank Garcia, but you know him as Cannibal. Yes, Cannibal and the Headhunters. This one from November of 1964, Cannibal and the Headhunters with a B-side on the Rampart label. Their tune called I'll Show You How to Love Me.
Darling,
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Cannibal and the Headhunters. Frank Garcia on lead. He wrote that tune there. Released in November of 1964 on the Rampart record label. I'll Show You How to Love Me is the name of that one. I wonder if they sang, I guess they would lip sync the song Land of a Thousand Dances. If they did the B-side, a lot of times, especially out in those early or those mid-60s American bandstands, they would do the B-sides. I know you can check out the Larks. They do The Jerk, and then the flip side of Forget Me they do with Vernon Green doing lead. It's really cool that they would do that, the B-side, then on that Larks record. That they should have done the B-side. I would love to see Cannibal and Headhunters lip-syncing that song there, but it's unfortunate that we lost Frank Garcia in 1996. He died at the age 49 of lung cancer, but he left us with some great tunes. Their other records on Rampart are pretty good, too. Well, enough of my babbling here. Let's continue here. Let's go back to Philadelphia, PA for this next artist, as this singer was a member of a group called The Citations, who recorded a song on Don White's Donnell record label. If you're familiar with their tune called Kiss in the Night, in 1962. And the lead singer on that song, Kiss in the Night, was William Lucas. And he is doing this solo release, but not under his real name. He's doing it under a name called Chris Lamar, but he wrote this tune. It's from late 1962. It's on Donnell Records. It's Chris Lamar, a.k.a. William Lucas, with his tune called Treat Me So Good.
Told me that she loved me, I believe it's true. Said that she needed me, baby, like I needed you. Oh, as long as we're together, I'm gonna treat you like I should. I'm gonna tell the whole wide world you treat me so good. Treat me so good. Hey girl, how your kisses thrill me, and you warm and pray, and there is no doubt about
1962 release there. Chris Lamar is his name on the label. Really, William Lucas there. He wrote that tune. Treat Me So Good is the name of that one on the Don L record label out of Philadelphia, PA. Let's continue for more here. Haven't heard this one in quite a while. A great two-sided 45 on Jack Gold's Terrace label, was written by the lead singer. His name is Ronnie Cates. He's being backed up by a group called The Travelers, who do not get credit on this side, which is the B side of the 45. They do get credit on the A side, which is their rendition of the tune Old Man River, which is a good side too. But I like this side better. From September 61, Ronnie Cates on Terrace, and his tune called Long Time.
I've been away for a long time. My every thought has been of you. Now that I've come home, it's the wrong time. It seems you found somebody new, and my heart's been sad. My heart's been sad for a long time. I lived on memories of you. I was so sure that you'd still be my baby, but now you tell me we are through. Goodbye, my love, I'll be on my way. Sorry to spoil your day. There is just one thing that I'd like to say. If you need me, just come my way. Call on the phone, knock at my door. Don't worry, darling, I won't be sore. Maybe someday you'll again be mine. Don't let it be a long time. Not a long time. No, not a long time. No, not a long time.
A styrene 45 that plays really good. Yes, it does. Ronnie Cates with the Travelers, September 1961 release on the Terrace record label. Their tune called Long Time. Long Time was re-released as a B-side to his next release. Came out in 62. I forget the name of it, but it's a little bit more expensive than this 45. Anyway, enough of my babbling here. Let's continue. About 9 records ago, we heard from this Fort Lee, New Jersey group a song called Big Name Button, but there were some member changes to the group when they signed with the Capitol record label, and this was the first of 4 that they released on Capitol, as they were featuring Joey Villa as the lead singer, and this one charted nationally for the group. Number 26 on Billboard, number 24 on Cashbox, was number 11 on WHBQ out of Memphis, Tennessee. Let's go back to August of 1959. Of course, I'm talking about the Royal Teens, this on Capitol Records, and their tune called Believe Me.
Each night as I go wandering down the street of tears, I think about the love we shared throughout our teenage years. Believe me, ooh, you said goodbye? Do you think that I will die just because you broke my heart? Now you're thinking you're so smart. All the kids in town will know. They will know you hurt me so. Did you have to tell them all that I still love you? I love you so, can't let you go. Believe me, believe me. If you return, the flame will burn. Believe me, believe me. Just because you said goodbye, do you think that I will die? Just because you broke my heart, now you're thinking you're so smart. All the kids in town will know. They will know you hurt me so. Did you have to tell them all that I still love you?
August 59 release there for the Royal Teens. Joey Villa on lead for that one on the Capitol record label. For you collectors out there, you want to get that old style Capitol logo at the top of the label. That's the press you want. I've actually played it on the, I have like 40 copies of this record that I've picked up through the years for 10 cents and 5 cents, but that's a nice copy there. The Royal Teens with their tune called Believe Me. Believe Johnny G when I play only original vinyl out of my collection. We do it every Saturday right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Next Saturday will be my all-girl group special, so you want to tune in for that. Going to have some rarities and some other records that you don't hear that often here on the girl group special. But let's continue. Let's go back to Chicago, Illinois for this next group, as this was a big hit in the Chicago area, was played a lot on WJJD, was also big number 6 on WWCA. Out of Gary, Indiana, this group would later evolve into a group called the Shepherds that recorded for Apex and VJ. But prior to that, they were known as the Bel Airs. This one from April of 1958 features Millard Edwards on lead. This is on the Decca record banner, the Bel Airs, with the A-side, a song called Rockin' and Strollin'.
I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love.
I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with you. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with you. Rockin' and strolling up, I've got a crazy kind of feeling. Hearing the bells ringing. I'm in love.
I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love.
Like the saying goes, oh baby, I'd go for you. Me and you together would be like 98 and 2. Whoa, 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 got a crazy kind of feeling. Whoa, 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 my heart is singing, rocking and strolling. I've got a crazy kind of feeling. Hear the bells ringing. I'm in love. Whoa, 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 got a crazy kind of feeling. Whoa, 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 my heart is singing, though the dance is over. Oh yeah, let's keep a strolling. strolling forever in love.
I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love.
I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with you. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with you. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with you. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with you. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love.
April 58 released the Bel Airs there on the Decca record banner. Their tune called Rockin' and Strollin', flip sides, and nice ballad called My Yearbook. We'll get that one on a future Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go to Ed Portnoy and Stan Feldman's Ivy label for this next 45. Don't know much about the group, though, but I can tell you that all the photos of this label that were available on the YouTube spins that the people were showing were all second presses. For you collectors out there, the first press of this has to list the band at the bottom of the label, that being B.B. Butler and his orchestra. I'm featuring it on the white promo that you don't often see. The white promo for this one, not easy to find, but it came out in November of 1957. They're called the Vanguards. This is on Ivy Records. Their tune is called Moonlight.
The moonlight at my window is shining with a glow.
Moonlight shine through my window tonight. Oh, I beg you, bring my loved one to me. Please, please bring her home safely to me.
Moonlight at my window is shining with a glow. Moonlight, won't you hear my plea? 'Cause my heart is bleeding, oh, repeating. Oh, shine on, bright moon. Oh, 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 oh. Moonlight at my window is shining with a glow.
Moonlight shine through my window tonight. Oh, I beg you, bring my loved one to me. Please, please bring her home safely to me.
Moonlight at my window is from heaven above.
Moonlight,
They're called the Vanguards. The Vanguards from November 1957 on the Ivy label. I've never seen this one on the Ivy label. I see that Jimmy Lewis and the Volumes or whatever it is, Cottage of My Dreams, I think that one, and the Deltaires second release on Ivy, but never this one. The Vanguards with their tune called Moonlight. As we continue here, we are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. We'll go for a little bit here on the overtime. Got really excited on Thursday night. My Cincinnati Bengals are 8-0. 8-0, and all the Pittsburgh fans are telling me, well, who did they beat? Well, they beat everybody. That's why they're 8-0. Well, enough of my babbling here. Let's continue. I have featured this 45 before on Imogene Fidali's Tender label, And I'm taking an excerpt from that Steve Probst and Galen Gart Los Angeles vocal groups, as this is being said by the lead singer. He said that this song was a typical George Mottola production, pre-recorded instrumental track used to accompany the group's vocal. George would get different guys to come in and make the tracks. Pianist Ernie Freeman could make arrangements in 5 minutes and record the tracks. The key was low for me, as I was singing very high tenor then. I was beefing all over the place around the key. Bass singer Charles Taggart did the floating falsetto in this song, patterned after the effect created by Jesse Belvin on the Shields' You Cheated. Those are the words of lead singer Stan Beverly about this song, and the group is really the Hollywood Saxons, but George Mottola decided to call them the Capris. This is a cool tune from January 1959, the Capris, a.k.a. the Hollywood Saxons, with Stan Beverly on lead. This is on the Tender label. Their cool tune, song entitled Endless Love.
Your head on my shoulder, I know our love is right. For I do believe the Lord above created you for me to love. He picked you out from all the rest because he knew I loved you best. For you are the queen and I am the king, and together we will conquer this great thing called endless love. Yes, darling, endless love.
January 1959 release there for the Capris, really the Hollywood Saxons there, Stan Beverly on lead there. Tender Records with their tune called Endless Love. John G here in Vinyl Treasure Overtime, 1950s and early 60s sounds out of my collection. Let's go to 1963 for this one. Really can't tell you anything about this 45 except I was going through a bunch of Capitol 45s and pulled out some for the 60s show, which was my old 60s show last weekend, and a few for tonight's show. And this is one by an artist by the name of Kenny Fox, as this one was arranged and conducted by Belford Hendricks. Came out in November of 63. Let's give it a spin. Kenny Fox on Capitol and his tune called Rain or Shine.
darling, you're everything in this world to me. Summer, winter, fall and spring. That's what you will be. Come rain or shine, rain or shine. Please say you're mine. Oh, mine. There is nothing neath the sun that could change my mind. No, no, for you are your sweetest one. Anyone could find. Come rain, rain or shine. I beg of you. Say you're mine to hold. And you always will be true. Just to me alone. Come rain or shine.
His name is Kenny Fox. Kenny Fox, their November 63 release on the Capitol record label, Rain or Shine is the name of that one. You'll hear Johnny G every Saturday, Rain or Shine, right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Let's continue here. And on an earlier 50s edition, I featured the A-side of this ultra-rare 45 on Buddy Caldwell's V-Tone label. The song I played was called All About You. It was done by this group out of Philadelphia. They were called the Sundials. And really, it's Johnny Mathis and the Sundials. No, Jimmy Mathis, not Johnny Mathis. Jimmy Mathis and the Sundials. And now Jimmy wrote the B-side of the 45, which is an in-demand Northern Soul record. Yes, it is. And this is the same group that recorded on Guidon, Chapel of Love and Weather to Resist. I don't know if you know that song by the Sundials, but most of the copies, or at least there's not many copies of this record at all, but the ones that I know, the B-side is slightly off-center. I think I lined this one up okay, so it should play fine. And maybe that's the reason why that the label destroyed a lot of these records and they really didn't make it out to the radio stations. But it's a cool tune here from April 63, Jimmy and the Sundials on V-Tone Records. The name of the tune is called Where Did I Lose You?
Could it have been in wild
That is a rare 45 for sure. It is. The Northern Soul collectors are looking for that side. Those are the Sundials. Actually, Jimmy and the Sundials, April 63 release, Where Did I Lose You? It's the B-side of the 45 on Buddy Caldwell's V-Tone Records out of Philadelphia, PA. John G here doing Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Let's continue with a little bit more here. Got a cover tune up next here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Is this singer originally from Youngstown, Ohio, started recording back in 1953, recorded for a lot of different labels through the years. His real name is Oscar James Gibson, and he had his first hit in 1960 with a cover of the song There's Something on My Mind. That one came out on the Fire label, was a big #1 R&B hit on the Billboard R&B charts. But he's doing another cover of a song originally recorded by Donnie Elbert in 1957 on Deluxe. This is the first of 3 he recorded for Volt Records, and this one was number 39 on KZAM out of Seattle, Washington. Let's go back to July of 63 for Bobby Marchand. Bobby Marchand on Volt and his rendition of the tune, What Can I Do?
Sorry, baby. There's nothing else I can do. I've tried my best, so what can I do to hold your hand? Tell me, what can I say to make you understand? You're driving me mad, so doggone mad. Baby, all because I want to be your lover man. Oh, tell me, how will it feel just to be in your arms? Come on, tell me, how will it feel? And how will it be to feel all your charms? I want to know.
Definitely a nice cover there. I had really all styles of singing Bobby Marchand there. But that's a What Can I Do Part 1. Does a nice rendition there of that Donnie Elbert song. July 1963. It's on the Volt label. Now, Bobby was also a female impersonator. Some of the clips that I've seen on YouTube, he's actually in drag singing these songs. It's amazing. But anyway, he also sang with Huey Piano Smith, and the Clowns had solo releases on the Ace label. It's a tie-in there, but it's unfortunate that he died December 5th, 1988 of a lengthy illness, but we remember him here on Vinyl Treasures and Top Shelf Oldies. Let's continue here. Warren, I think you requested this record a long time ago. I don't know if I've ever played it for you, but I think you did. As we head to Detroit for this next group, they had this lone release on Preston Carnes' Astra label. It came out in 1965, but it sounds earlier, as this record received a lot of airplay in the Pittsburgh, PA, and it was reissued in the Pittsburgh area on this Astra label. They had, I don't know what they did, they like rejuvenated the label or something out of Pittsburgh, and it became well known to that area. But the group is really out of Detroit. It's a great two-sided 45 also. This one from 1965. They're called the Aquanites. It's on Astra Records, and this is the up-tempo side, a song entitled Christie.
I love you, Christy girl.
I love you, Christy. I love you so. I never let you go. I love you, Christy. I love you always. I want you, Christy, for the rest of our days. I love you, Christy. I love you, dear. I want you, Christy. I want you to hear. I love you, Christy. I love you so. I never let you go. Let you go.
1965 there, although it doesn't sound like a 1965 45. The Aquanites there from on the Astra record label out of Detroit, Michigan, their tune called Christie. My first copy of this, paid a lot of money. It was off-center. I'm going to just tell you the first name of the guy that sold it to me. It was Joey. And he didn't mention that the record was way off center. I was so pissed. I really was, and I really didn't do much business with him after that at all anyway, but I got a nice copy of that now. Yes, I do. John G here spinning 1950s and early 60s 45s out of my collection. Here's another recent purchase that I really have no information on. I'm guessing it is from the West Coast. It's on a label called Mont, M-O-N-T. And the singer goes by the name of Joey Robinson, and he wrote this song. Came out in July of 1962. Let's give it a spin. It's on the Mont label. The name of the tune is called Goddess of... Did I write it right? Yes. Goddess of My Heart.
I saw you standing in the starlight. I saw the brightness in your eyes. I thought of you as the goddess of my heart. Walk up to you and I would ask you if you were true or
just a dream that would never come true. And then I saw you slowly fade away. My heart broken too, as I thought I'll never have you. Darling, I guess I'll just keep on dreaming of you, because no one can take your place, 'cause you're the goddess of my heart, because there's no one else but you.
Gotta apologize. Whoops. Hold on. Look at all this stuff. Yeah, you see this. I'll get this to play okay. It's when I got this record, had all this like grease and stuff on it. I got most of it off, but I didn't play it. See, when you clean these records, I use like a watered down alcohol base on some of these records with a lot of this gunk on here. And if I still see it in the wax here. And that's why what happens is it builds up on the needle and it floats on the top of the record. And then it'll skip. It'll skip if there's a slight scratch or something. It'll just be on top of the grooves. It won't be in the grooves. So I got to work on that one again. They like that record too. I'm sorry, I have to apologize for that. That is a cool tune there by I lost my place here, by Joey Robinson. His name is Joey Robinson, July 62 on Mont, M-O-N-T, a song called Goddess of My Heart. I will clean that and we'll play that again. It'll sound a lot better. It will. Let's go for a few more here before Johnny G closes down. This one came with that, but this is a nice mint copy. This is going to play fine. It's on Gary Paxton and Kim Fowley's Paxi label. The artist goes by the name of Johnny Angel, but come on, who is really named Johnny Angel? Well, not this guy, because this guy's real name is Kenneth Ansell, and he does have releases under his name Kenneth Ansell, but not this one. This one was written by Gary Paxton, and it was picked up 2 months later on the Gardena label, but I'm featuring the first press on the Paxley label. This one charted at number 14 on KWYK out of Farmington, New Mexico. We go back to February 61 for Johnny Angel on Paxley and his tune called Baby, You've Got Soul.
Baby, 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 baby.
Well, I know, baby, baby, you got soul.
Baby, 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 you got soul.
I said chills go up and down my spine when you whisper that you mine or mine. That's when I know, baby, baby, you got soul.
Baby, you got soul.
And when you tell me that you got a plan, a long-term contract for a wedding band, you look at me with those big brown eyes. My head turns to jelly, my heart it flies. Right to your arms is where I wanna be sure. So come on, baby, get the show on the road, and then I'll know, baby, baby, you got soul. For a wedding band,
turns to jelly. My heart, it flies right to your arms is where I wanna be sure. So come on, baby, get the show on the road, and then I'll know. Baby, baby, you got soul. Baby, baby. Baby, baby. Baby, baby, you got soul. Baby, 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 don't you know? Don't you know that you got soul? Baby, baby, don't you know?
His name is Johnny Angel. Not really Johnny Angel. His name is Kenneth Ansell. February 61 release on the Paxley Records. Song entitled Baby You've Got Soul. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com or JohnnyGVinyltreasures@gmail.com. And I'm working on a lot of girl group requests, and thank you folks for your other requests. And sometimes I just can't find the 45s, and or sometimes the records are not suitable for the Vinyl Treasure Show. I make the final decision. Yes, I do, but they mostly are, but sometimes they're not. But anyway, we're going to get this show up on my archive at vinyltreasures.net. We also have been taping it on the Ustream broadcast, but we'll get it up on my YouTube account. You can go back and check out the 45s there. You can see the real records that I've been playing. And we're going to close the show tonight from a group out of Cleveland, Ohio. Their debut single came out on the Warwick label, the Ohio Warwick label, but they recorded on other labels too, one being Big Top. And here is the first of two they recorded for Big Top, which did well for them regionally. It was a Big Top 20 record on WTVN and WCOL out of Columbus, Ohio, and WHK in Cleveland, and also WHLO out of Akron, Ohio. It features Robert D. Pasquale on lead. Of course, I'm talking about The Visions. Our closer tonight's from November 61, The Visions on Big Top, with a song called Tell Me You're Mine. That's going to do it, folks, for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. And tomorrow night, you want to tune in here to Top Shelf Oldies for my buddy Dave the Raven, Relics and Rarities, starting at 9 p.m., 9 to midnight, right here on Top Shelf. And next Saturday night, I'll be here with my all-girl group special. You're going to want to tune in starting at 10 p.m. Hope you dug on the tunes this evening. Enjoyed bringing them to you as I always do on Saturday evenings. That's going to do it, folks. I want everybody to have a safe and happy week. I'll see you here next Saturday night. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
de amor.